Set?
Yep.
Let's call the meeting to order. Please rise for the pledge. Pledge allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
I have a motion to approve the agenda.
So moved.
I'll second.
Any discussion? Any changes? All in favor?
Aye.
Approval of minutes. Resolution to approve minutes for the August 13th and September 2nd, 2020 meetings.
I'll make a motion
No,
to
second.
Any,
Who was the second, Tim?
Aye.
Mike, any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Public participation?
Yeah, you can stand right there. That's fine.
I'm Jeremy with the Owasco Fire Department. Over the last several years, we've had a growing issue with flooding around the fire station. There's been development done with parking lot, and in the rear of the building has helped capture the water. The bulk of the flooding issues now is in the front of the parking lot where our trucks exit, and that ditch that's been slowly growing and collapsing the roadway in our front apron. Bob, Bruno, and Ed have helped work with the state DOT. They state that the issue is across the road and that there is an issue with some sort of easement access to replace the culvert that runs under our private property across the street. We had a flooding event a month and a half ago, which resulted in the station flooding and significant water in front of the station. It would have prevented responders from being able to get to the firehouse. I just ask that, we continue to work on trying to get a resolution with the state and property owners across the road to try to prevent this flooding from continuing. It's threatening a public utility with millions of dollars of equipment inside.
Are the property owners across the street cooperative?
There's been a lot of back and forth
I don't think so.
between the town and the state DOT and the property owners, and I haven't gotten a true what's wrong here story, but I think that having the town and the property owners kind of sit down and come to some sort of solution would be the best for all parties.
Absolutely.
Last I talked to Ed, he was looking into it. That's been going on. It's an ongoing thing there. And I don't think we can have that, not the firehouse.
Okay.
And it has something to do with the adjacent property owners.
Yeah, all this culvert area and the flooding area is a result from outside our property bounds. There's no drainage on our property that are resulting in this, so it's a wider issue than just the firehouse can handle.
Understood. Understood. Any comments? Thank you.
Thank you.
Communications. The town has been literally inundated with calls regarding the change of Casella's trash and recycling. And I think as a board, we really feel sympathetic and share the concern. We had an emergency meeting to address the problem. And at this point, we've got RFPs out for some proposals, and hopefully someone will come in with something that's tenable. But at this point, I think we just have to write it out. And Tammy brought up a real good question regarding stickers that people presently have. How should they be treated? Should the resident be able to put a sticker on a trash bag and have it processed, not 3 stickers? Because when they bought the stickers in good faith, a sticker went on one sticker went on a trash bag. I am of the opinion, and it's not a legal opinion, but I'm of the opinion that it should be one sticker. And then the other issue that Tammy brought up, which is another sticky wicket. Some people have bought many stickers for long-term use. And if Casella leaves in October, what happens to those people who purchased a year's worth of stickers?
Well, my question would be, is there cause of action if they're out money, is there cause of action with the town or with the provider?
Well, the provider hasn't stated that he isn't going to reimburse people.
Mhm.
But in the event that he does say that he's not going to reimburse people, what recourse do we have?
Who's been receiving the revenue from the bags? It's been-
The provider.
it's been
They
the
have.
provider.
If they're out something, then it would seem that their beef would be with the provider. That they
I would think,
they bought tickets and they weren't able to redeem them. So if those town residents are to be made whole, it would seem like it would have to be the provider that would do that. Go ahead.
Does the town pass any money back and forth to Kinsella where we can have a retainage?
No,
No.
not really.
The other thing that I think that the town residents need to be prepared for is the idea that at the end of this process, it may be cheaper for them to retain their own trash services than it is for us to provide it as a town. That's a very real possibility that people need to.
I had a resident tell me that Village of Cayuga does curbside pickup. So I called Cayuga to find out what the deal was. And the Village of Cayuga sets aside $43,000 a year for curbside pickup. Now, we're about 8 times larger than the Village of Cayuga. So if we're looking at the town of Owasco providing that service, we're looking at something like $360,000, $370,000
Yeah.
a year, which would mean you'd have to have a referendum and so on and so forth. So
And
maybe,
a huge tax increase.
and a huge tax increase.
And I don't think the people would.
But I think those are the alternatives out there. And further note, Casella's contract with the Village of Kew is expiring next month. So they're probably going to be in for a shock.
Yeah.
We'll just have to see what happens as time goes by.
Yeah, I do feel bad. Some of the residents down in the fire lanes, they don't have accessibility to get large trucks down their fire
Right,
lanes.
a lot of seasonal people
And
too.
then some of them have complained to Tammy that they can't bring, that the driveways are too steep, they can't bring the container up.
That's a
I see
real
lot
issue.
of- Lot of containers up on the end of the fire lane, so, people do bring their pails up.
Yeah.
But that's a big undertaking for
Yeah,
an
sure
elderly
is.
person.
Sure is. Well, so another wicket, another sticky wicket in the whole issue.
Last thing we need is another wicket.
Yeah, we got too many now. Okay, also, there was a request from Anne Marie LaCastro Brown with Just Desserts to rent the shelter at the end of October to benefit the East Coast pet adoptions. She would like to invite 3 other vendors to join her. This will be pickup or pre-ordered items only, with time slots being given so not to exceed the mandatory number of people required by the state during the time of COVID-19. I guess what we're here all about is to have an approval, give her an approval to do this. Is I don't see any problem.
No.
As long as they abide by the COVID.
Yeah, as long as they abide by
Right.
COVID regulations, I don't see any. But I think
No.
there was just a suggestion that we approve it, even if it's just an informal.
I mean, I make a motion that we approve the rental if.
Yeah, I agree. I'll second that.
Mike second, all in favor?
Aye.
Also, the last communication, Ed has received several letters from Burtis Point residents regarding the smell of sewer gas. at this point, we've got engineers looking into it. Hopefully they can come up with a solution. I've not heard anything other than that Frank DeOrio was looking into the problem, and
And Bob Bruno's got something on his phone, I know that, and there's something in the
Sensor
catch basins or
device, yeah.
something in the sewer system that
Sniff
if something happens, it triggers his phone and they're on top of it.
yeah,
Other than that, I
it
don't
worked.
know much more than that.
We're making the effort.
Yes, we
We're
are,
making the effort.
and then they're not slouching it away.
Any new business?
Well, we've
sorry.
had, we continue to get communication from residents of, or a resident of Stryker Ave regarding the speed and a request to lower the speed limit down to 20 or 25 miles an hour. And that we addressed, I just wanted to mention that we addressed that a couple of meetings ago, that we got the batteries charged in the speed sign.
Yep.
And put the speed sign out there, which the resident does say that is somewhat effective, and he's appreciative of that, but continues to want additional remedies for the traffic. And I think my opinion is we've done what we're willing to do at this point. And if we need to revisit it again, it probably isn't going to be at the next meeting. Maybe we'll, if it continues to be a problem for the residents, we can look at it next summer or something like that. But I don't see us revisiting it at every time.
Right.
If he wants to continue to communicate with us, we're happy to receive it, but we're probably not going to address it again for a little
I
bit.
made a couple trips up there myself, just to see what the layout.
Yeah, I was
was.
there
everything.
yesterday.
And, the machine was working. I did it a week ago, I think. And,
It's the people coming down the hill
you know,
tend to speed.
and you can't slow them down any more than 30.
And the reality is, from my experience, people that are going to speed at 30 are going to speed at 20.
Right.
It's just,
It's
they're
gonna
going
make
to
it
do
worse.
it.
It'll make it worse.
It'll be a bigger ticket for them, but that's,
Okay, that's like old business, I would think,
You
right?
know, if the patrols can go up there once in a while.
Yeah.
Any other new or old business we should discuss?
We did have the one, the bridge matter. Jeremy, since you're here, they emailed Ed and I
Yep.
off of Oak Ridge Road. We did look into that with the code enforcement officer, and until it becomes in such disrepair that it's untravelable, he doesn't have any leverage to make them fix it, because it's basically non-conforming use, so it's kind of grandfathered in. But when the time does come, when that abutment collapses and the bridge is no longer drivable and they have to repair it, then he will hold them to the current standard of bridge structures. So unfortunately, just don't go across it.
Yep, that's already been marked.
Yeah.
911 system.
So sorry about that.
Anything else? The next resolution. Authorize the town supervisor to sign, or his deputy, to sign order number 1 with the Napa Electric for the town of Owasco Water District project for the permanent granular activated carbon microsystem treatment system project. I have a motion.
I'll make a motion. I'll second.
It was Fred and Tim. And discussion.
Yeah.
Rick?
Mr. Supervisor, we talked just prior to the meeting at the request of the bookkeeper to add after town supervisor or deputy supervisor. So that we would add that in the first paragraph of the resolution. And also at the end, under the resolve, we would add that the town supervisor or deputy supervisor is hereby authorized.
Any question?
No.
Any other discussion?
So we're just to be clear, we're voting on it as amended.
Yeah, change order 21,081. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. Audit and payment of claims. Have a motion.
I'll make a motion for that.
Oh, sir.
Tim and Mike, any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Looks like we're coming to the end.
Anything for executive session?
Not that I know of. Before we adjourn, though, I'd like to first, like to thank Fred for his work and his help to get this system going. I think it'll work well.
It's pretty neat, yeah. Looks good.
I think it's great.
I think I'm gonna be even more famous than I already was.
Yeah. I would encourage the town residents to save this link that's up on the website. It'll be the same link month after month to be able to go and view the board meeting either live or later on if you wanted to view it later on at your leisure. You know, you could view it anytime you want, over and over again. And
I'm sure there would be reason.
yeah, and also, if you know, we've got people that are attending the meetings now. If you have something that needs to be brought in front of the board, you can certainly come to the meeting. If you don't want to come to the meeting and you want it brought up in the meeting in the communication section, we can you make sure you can email Tammy or any board member, and we'll definitely make sure that it makes it onto the agenda.
Okay, thank you. And the last thing, I'd like to thank Tammy for bearing the brunt of the phone calls that come in constantly. And some of those calls are not pleasant. People get emotional, they get upset. So it's not easy to deal with some people at times. So I
It's very true.
want
Yeah.
to thank Tammy on behalf of the board for all of her kindness and patience. Is there a
Thank you,
motion to
Tammy.
adjourn?
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
No, second.
Mike, Timmy and Mike, meeting is adjourned. Thank you.
Very well, very good.
Everyone's in favor?
Aye.
Bye.